This is a trail that I love to hike. I was talking about it in previous videos. I've got my backpack on and I'm gonna go for a backpacking hike. I'm gonna sleep out here tonight by a lake that's really beautiful, that every time that I go and hike up to, I think, you know, we should really camp here one of these nights. So here we go. I'm on this trail. I hiked this trail many mornings out of every week last summer. It's a beautiful hike. I enjoy the terrain. It changes a lot. And it's about 8 miles out and back from where I started from, which is a nice, decent hike. If I was doing longer backpacking journeys, I usually go for 15 miles or so. That's like, you know, that's about my point where I'm like, okay, this is decent. I'm tired, depending on the terrain. They're all different, you know? So with that being said, let's go. The last time I filmed here, there were so many mosquitoes. There's not as many right now. Yeah, here it is, the backpack, you know. I think we've got about 2 more miles in till I get to the lake. And I'm excited to sleep out there tonight. The first mile of the trail, I was like, man, I am out of shape with the backpack. So, you know, I'm breaking it in, and honestly, even though somebody who is savvy at packing very lightweight would probably criticize the way I've packed, you know, a couple things that I've brought, it's good practice for me to just get back to lugging weight around, especially as I'm gonna go backpack throughout Southeast Asia, and it's gonna be a heavier pack than this, because I'm gonna have, like, you know, a little bit more clothing, a laptop, you know. So this is just such a beautiful place. This is such a beautiful place. I love the trail. I love the spruce trees around here. Spruce are definitely some of my favorite. And I guess, you know, it's not just because they're like Christmas trees. Like, I just really love their shape, their color. I'm looking at them now. Their smell is delicious. So is ponderosa, but ponderosa is a little different. But spruce I'm quite partial to. So, how's your day going? Let me know in the comments below as we continue on the trail here. And I am like so ready to jump in the lake. It's super hot right now. Actually, I need some water. Let's take a water break. This one seems to have, I always get some suction with this straw that it comes with. I was going to say, there's usually strawberries out, but it might be too early. And here we are, little baby ones. I wonder if there's any bigger ones around that I can have a little snack on. They don't usually get much bigger than this anyway, but oh my god, it's so good. There's nothing like hiking a mountain or hiking a trail and having a couple of fresh organic strawberries. This one's not too ripe, but I'm gonna have it. Delicious. This is so pretty with the cloud reflecting. That's super, super pretty. This is definitely better than it was, as in less water overflow than a few weeks ago. Now let's check out the stream here, because I used to be able to cross this last year, but it was overflowing last time. It looks like it's come down so much. Oof, my foot pretty much went in there just now. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh shit. All right, I misstepped again there. I love Gore-Tex. Let's just put it like that, because my foot, look at how much it totally went down in there. Oh, well, this is not so bad to cross now. I don't know what bug this is, but like 3 of them landed on my head so far and sort of hurt. Pretty steep, but we're in the final stretch. We're almost up to the lake. Beautiful view of the mountain there. At last, we have made it to the lake. I feel like I smell fire, but I don't see anybody doing one yet. Oh, over there. There we go. I am so ready to jump in there. It's so pretty. So pretty. This guy just blasted like heavy metal over there. Never have I ever had that happen. All right, it looks like it's time for me to start setting up somewhere. And then I am so ready to jump in. This is what the expression "pack it out" means. Nobody wants to pick this up, you know? Like, put it in your own receptacle, please. It's disgusting. That actually takes a while to break down, too. All right, so this spot looks nice. There's no fire pit, so I'm gonna build one, actually. This spot is a little bit more away from people. There's actually quite a number of people out here today. This place is so pretty. Isn't that picture perfect? I can't find any fire pits, so I am going to make one. There are a lot of rocks in the lake I guess I can fish out and find around, because I definitely want to make a fire. First, let's get the tent set up. The Nemo out. This blow up mat. I find it very comfortable. You know, but you're always at risk with a blow up mat of it popping, and I have had it happen to me. But to be honest, it didn't happen while camping, it happened on another surface. I actually think that this one is brand new. I don't think I've slept on this yet. God, it is new. Because the other one popped. Really only takes like 3 of them, but I didn't fill it up very much. All right, it's pretty cozy in here now. I thought I was recording, but I wasn't. And I just said a bunch of stuff. I don't know if it recorded the part where I was talking about how I fold this up. I think I did get that part. Yeah, these little tasks that are annoying, well, they used to be, more of them used to be annoying. Now I've been developing a lot of practice to not only like do them, but enjoy doing them. And that is a big part of like a meditation practice. Is, you know, when you stay at like a Vipassana retreat, you get to do chores. And that's part of your meditation, is to just, I love it, my little flag, the Buddhist prayer flag. Yeah, you get to do chores. And to be able to enjoy chores is really something. So yeah, I put back a lot of the food that I was going to take, like the trail mix and the pumpkin and the bean chili. I just brought that green lentil Patagonia meal, and I think I have that meal replacement powder. I figured I would like fast my way out of here in the morning, and that I just take a light meal, because I felt like I was kind of overindulging a bit earlier, but you know, I was eating a lot of the trail mix that I was supposed to take, and I was like, it's not that it's bad, it's great food. I mean, there's no good and bad, it's just like there's processed crap, and there's really healthy, nutrient dense food that is good for us, right? And like the trail mix with all the dates in it, and the cacao and the pumpkin seed, that was really, it's got a lot of good stuff in it for us. But for me, sometimes it's a little hard to stop eating dates, but granted, it's better than shoving a piece of cake down your mouth or some candy, you know? Like, I used to be addicted to sweets, and I'm not addicted to them anymore, and it's liberating, honestly. Now it's like, I'll sometimes like crave fruit, like I want fruit, and I think that's a good thing. We need fruit. It's full of great nutrients, right? Eating a date, for example, is not the same as eating a cupcake. It's full of potassium, it's full of all these great nutrients and tons of fiber. It's full of fiber, so it just doesn't compare, you know, it doesn't compare. But even so, I like to practice a little more discipline these days, but in a healthy way that's not like centered around eating disordered thinking, more in a way that's either devotional or like, we're still gonna have food later, but I'm practicing some discipline. And also to get the body to go into autophagy, where the cells all die out, because that's great for us because it rejuvenates the cells. And we want that, especially even if you're eating really well, all organic, there's still so much like glyphosate that comes from Roundup that they spray on the crops. It's causing cancer and all kinds of issues that, you know, people don't want to believe. But why do we have such high rates of autism now? It's all linked to the Roundup, and people just want to deny it. But, you know, I'm just here to share this stuff. Health is a progression, and it is, once you start to really experience the empowerment that comes with health, the love of health, it just turns into a passion. It's a passion. It's a passion to know, like, what am I gonna eat that's gonna make me feel a certain way, or that's gonna do a certain thing in the body. That's empowering. And it's like, you know, let food be thy medicine. Hippocrates. All right, so yeah, I am gonna get in the lake. I'm starting to get a little chilly now because I've been just out, not sweating anymore, and my sweat turned to cold. So I've got to get in there. Let's get to it. This is day 32 of 31 days of cold plunging. Okay, yeah, so I was supposed to do 31 days. I did 31 days. On day 3, I came out here and I just had a flop of a day, and I did not submerge entirely in this lake. I hike over to this lake a lot. This is my first time backpacking here, and I've wanted to every time. So I'm glad I made the endeavor and came out here. So we're gonna get in there, and then I'm gonna build a fire pit, and we're gonna have a fire and have, you know, dinner eventually, and just, you know, journal and do all kinds of solitude stuff. I promised that I'm gonna do a redo. I said yesterday, I pushed it back till today, and I decided I'm not going to condemn myself for pushing it back, but I'm going to honor the commitment to go tomorrow, and I did. It's really important that we follow through with this. Like, if we're working on self-trust, you know, how do we get there? Sometimes we set the bar really high, though, with a lot of stuff after we're, like, letting ourselves down a lot. So really a good recommendation, I would say, is, you know, don't pressure yourself with something huge, like big goals, and then you don't follow through and you feel defeated and you get like worse self-esteem from that and you don't trust yourself. Start with small things, things that you enjoy, really. That's really the best way to go. So, and just simple, enjoyable things. I'm going to make myself a cup of tea every night or every morning. And you follow through with that. If you like tea, let's say. I'm going to go for a walk every day at 6 p.m. Whatever. You like walking, it's easy for you, so you commit to that, right? It doesn't matter what it is. You know, just start anywhere, but follow through. And then things snowball. You'll be able to develop more of this thing where you've already gained some self-trust with something. Now you can more easily jump onto the bigger things, you know, the goals and stuff. All right, I am ready, and I have my tiny little towel. This is going to be very luxurious. And let's get to measuring out the water. I'm curious what it's going to be. All right, let's see. This water is... It says it's 60 degrees, so actually it's not as cold. It's a little bit below 60, actually. It's not as cold as the creek, I mean, so maybe I have no excuse for failing. The wind is certainly a little bit cold. The wind is already very cold. I'm gonna get into some breath work, and then I'm gonna take the plunge. Ooh, it's cold, it's cold, it's cold already, but I have to do it. Okay, I can do this. The creek was probably colder. Just keep breathing, just keep breathing. I'm gonna do it. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So cold. Oh, it's cold. I have no idea what number I got in on it. Let's see. That was about 1 minute and 22. 2 more minutes. This is so cool. I am so happy right now. might swim across the lake. Oh my God, I'm so glad. So proud of myself. So now I'm gonna build the fire pit. I was throwing, oops, I forgot the mic was over there. I am really proud of myself. I was saying, this is amazing. I'm so glad I did it. The swimming in the lake is so nice. And I was, on my way out, I was throwing a couple of rocks out so I can start building the fire pit. So let's get to it. Well, of course, I'm going to change first. I'm going to build it right there. So there's only like a couple of rocks that I got, but we'll see what we've got here. It's not going to be the world's greatest fire pit. I need to fetch more. Let's go gather some wood. All right, I'm gonna get to it. I want to start that cold plunge. Enormous amount of mosquitoes, and it's very annoying. Fire with these fire sticks. The spruce leaves, or needles, whatever you want to call them, smells so good. They're also pretty flammable. I love making fires. I was really sad that I could barely do this at all in California. I'm trying to think of my whole trip through there, if there was anywhere that I was able to make one. Up, and I wish that I had brought my, oh, look at that fire go. I wish I had brought my little camping chair, which doesn't weigh too much, but I don't know, I kind of thought about it. I never bring it out. I just use it at campsites. It's like another thing that weighs the pack down, but it would have been really nice right here if I had it. I moved this log that I'm sitting on over from the edge of the lake. This is a sweet little dream right now. Thanks for joining me. I've been wanting to come here, like I said, and backpack out here, and it's so satisfying. There's nothing in the world like camping. And to backpack and camp, it's the best. I love being able to make fires, which is also something I love about Colorado. There's rarely a fire ban. And unlike other places where I've been, there's a lot of incredible free camping, incredible backpacking that's free. You don't need a pass, like in a lot of places. And that's awesome. So great. Because that's, it's like nature, just treat it well. You have to be a good steward. This is a glorious place that we are so lucky. I think now that the Cold Plunge is finished, I'm still going to continue to do it every day till I leave Colorado. I don't know, I feel like it's such a good health benefit to it, and it's been really empowering to do. So I'm going to make my dinner now. Also, it's made the mosquitoes fuck off a bit. Thank goodness. Nothing better than a fire. I feel really happy that I was able to do this cold plunge and film it the whole way through, because, you know, part of filming it was an accountability thing, right? So that was like super useful. This is the meal that I'm having by Patagonia. The price is all right. It's like $5 to $6 depending on where you buy it. Everything's organic in it. This one's vegan. So this is how it looks basically. Not bad. I like the chili more. It doesn't have like tons of flavor, but it's at least not as processed as other foods. It tastes pretty good. It's not a bad tasting meal. It doesn't have like tons of flavor. I brought some salt and pepper. I wish I had brought like maybe some hot sauce or something along. It's moderately clean, you know. I wish they used better oils in it, like olive oil, extra virgin olive oil or something, but you know, for a backpacking meal, it's one of the cleanest you can get on the market right now, till I make my own brand. Stay tuned. Oh, and the portion size is pretty good actually. I've never felt hungry after eating one of these Patagonia meals, so that's a good thing, right? This is definitely a very smoky fire. This has been one of the smokiest fires that I've ever made. I was just thinking about how before I went on this hike, I was like, I was actually kind of anxious, and I don't get anxiety much these days, but I bought the ticket to Bali, and you know, it's still like processing through with the China airline and the other one. So it's like pending, but I know it's gonna, you know, I'm gonna go. But the reality of that, and not being able to like plan it all out yet, and realizing there's a lot of planning that I'm gonna have to get up to, because I'm not very familiar with Bali yet. And this is like, I was like, I'm gonna take a backpack, but I'm not gonna be able to take much. It's gonna be a lot. I have a few things that I need to buy, and like, I've spent a lot of money, like, well, I shouldn't say a lot of money. I've spent money, like savings, the last couple years since I went through burnout, and I just couldn't work the way I used to. And as I've confessed before, sort of, I don't know what I said exactly, I'll admit it was not so interesting to me anymore. I don't mean to say it like that. I think BDSM and kink, conscious consciously practice it can be life-changing for people. It's just that I grew in a different way. And I went through imposter syndrome for the first time ever. I never had it as a dom. Then I had it. Most people get it in different professions. But so I thought I had like one dream, and I still have it, this one dream, but it's, and even though I said that I don't believe in 5-year plans, I do have an intention and I cannot call it a goal yet, because it's not totally measurable. It doesn't match up with SMART goals, but it can be once I get on track. But I just felt I couldn't settle in one place yet. I have heard these calls to go to Bali, to go back to Asia, to immerse again in Buddhist culture in Asia, and see what opens up even more for me spiritually. It's a big mystery, which is cool. I'm cool with that. So that was me trying out a light, a DJ Osmo light, and I actually like this fire lighting better, even though it's not the most flattering here. It's I don't know about that light that I have that I'm trying out. I think this looks more dramatic. I'm almost ready for bed, it seems. Honestly, whenever I come out and backpack, sometimes I'll think, oh, I'll do like a little bit of this or that before bed. And I just get into my sleeping bag and I fall asleep like instantly. I fall asleep so fast outdoors. It's amazing. Life outdoors reset my whole clock. So we're supposed to be more connected to nature. We are nature. We're supposed to connect to nature. If we're going to be cooped up all the time inside, it's definitely not going to contribute to our health in a good way. I do feel a little bit bad. I have burnt a lot of these plants that were around the fire. I think I'd feel worse about that last year. But now I'm like, I don't know, I feel bad, but I don't know. They will adapt, because I'm sure now someone else is going to come and use this fire pit that I made. This is now a new campsite. It's fire. This is gorgeous. Thou primordial element, we both create and destroy. O fire, I pray thee, I pray thee. You who teach of alchemy, I'm almost ready to go. I'm gonna take a plunge real quick in the lake. and then pack up the tent and everything and be on my way. Let's get to it. All right, let's get in there. That sure is refreshing. Scrape my knee though. I feel super thrilled that I have done all these days of cold plunges. Especially to get to swim in a lake is so cool. Especially this one, because I've come here so many times. Alright. I mean, I really could just hang out here all day, but there's so much to do. So I think I'll make this a 2-day experience next time. What's coming up? So I want to talk a little bit about workaholism. I have done videos on bits and bobs of workaholism, and I'm sure I'm going to do more of them. Workaholism has been it's been a journey for me. Work can be an addiction for some of us. It can be something that fills us with this, can be a distraction from our problems. It can also, it often stems from the feeling that we're not good enough. Or on top of that, scarcity mindset that we have to keep working because we're gonna be broke, we're always gonna be broke, There's a lot of little threads that go into it. My mother was a workaholic. She was this incredible person who just barely relaxed. I rarely ever saw her relax. Occasionally, she would go into the backyard and put a bunch of suntan oil on and just lay down on a patio, like a pool bench or whatever they're called. And then occasionally she would lock herself in the bathroom and just have a phone call or do I don't know what in there. She was probably always working too, but wanted to get away from everyone for a bit. And then when I saw her really officially having to relax, which was still impossible for her, was when she was sick with cancer. She was only 46. I was 14. She got diagnosed in August 8th and died on December 19th, 6 days before Christmas. She must have worked through all of these symptoms and feelings that her body was telling her, but she just kept denying them and just toughing through it till she couldn't anymore. And to see this woman who was constantly go, and very much upbeat and just everybody wanted to be around her. We used to joke that she could sell a piece of shit off of a platter. She could. What did she do? When I was a little girl, she was an interior designer. And then she also opened up an antique shop, which is where I basically grew up, is in the antique store. I was there, when I wasn't in school, I was there a lot. And then she was sick of sitting around and entertaining everyone to try to get them to buy furniture. A lot of people just like to hang out because they like to be around her, And she decided spontaneously, she had received the message, you're going to become an auctioneer. And she just went full speed to auction school and became an auctioneer, auctioned off everything that she could in the antique shop, and opened up this big auction business that I'm sure if she hadn't have burnt out completely, she would have gotten really far. The incredible amount of knowledge that this woman had. at such a young age about art and art forms and just craftsmanship. Like, she knew the names of everything. She knew the style. She knew it off the bat. She was just like a firecracker. I believe that she would have had a really successful auction establishment, big business, and I probably would have been a part of that because I already was at a young age. I was working by her side. I was clerking the auctions. And I was already becoming a little bit of a workaholic myself. She would say, you don't need to go to school the next day, because the auctions, I'd clerk them and they'd go really late. Sometimes we wouldn't get home till like 4 a.m. She'd pay me like a pretty decent amount too, back in those days when I was like 12 years old to 14. And but I did not want to miss school because I always felt like I didn't want to be a failure. I don't know where I got this from either, because my mom didn't care at all about our grades. My father didn't give a shit about like anything that was going on with us because he's such a deadbeat dad, as it's called. My grandmother was a teacher. She taught me all kinds of things since I was a little girl, and I don't think I would have done as well in school without her. She would help us out on projects, everything, but she was never like upset if we got a bad grade. I remember I got a D in math, and my mom was like, oh my god, I never did that good in school. And I was like, are you kidding me? What kind of mother are you? I shouted. And she told that story to everyone. But so see, that's overall, there wasn't this pressure, but it was an internal pressure because I wanted to be normal growing up. The household was very dysfunctional. I wouldn't trade it for the world today. I have love and acceptance and appreciation for everything now. But it was a lot of struggle going on in the household between my parents and an older sibling and all of this. So there was this overarching theme inside that I wanted to be normal. I was tired of everyone calling me so weird because I was an artist and I was different. And I wanted to fit in, and I think that's where some of the failure came in from, and that I wanted to get this kind of like, it was like just an overarching perfectionism. And that trickled into workaholism, which I started to really rapidly begin to develop a lot as I was a self-employed person, as a professional dominatrix. And I started battling burnout in 2020, and I was realizing I was a workaholic, but it just didn't I accepted it, but I couldn't stop. And, there's different styles of workaholics. Some workaholics are rich and make a lot of money, and some, they don't. That's not really, it doesn't matter how much money you make. What applies is that you're filling yourself with work so much that you're actually not having leisure time that doesn't involve any work. Even me recording this right now is like, I'm still working, but I'm mixing in my work with my play. Last night, I thought, maybe I'd edit some of the material. And I after the fire, I was like, I know myself also, once I get into the tent in my sleeping bag, I just knock out instantly when I'm outdoors like this. And I was like, you know what? I don't need to do that. You can enjoy just getting rest. You can enjoy just being in this tent. And so I'm finding this balance. I had to go into complete failure mode when I went into burnout. I was battling it in 2020, like many people. And then I packed up all my stuff, like I've said in other videos, and I just hit the road, and it just snowballed into me not being able to work. I couldn't work for several months, and I just traveled around. And then when I got back to work, I thought I went back with like a fire, and I had all these new ideas, but they weren't gonna be where I needed to head, where Source has been leading me. And I had to start managing my life where I was integrating my outdoors life, still doing sex work, my business, but I was building up for this, for life as a coach and taking certifications. And it hurt a lot. It hurt me in ways. It hurt the ego, really, to not be making money, to be spending a lot of savings. And it's still scary, but all I can do is have faith. Faith also, and to honor, not just faith, but to honor a work-life balance. You know, I resented it for a few years. I was like, I don't want to record every little thing I do for this. And that's not where I'm at. I'm actually experiencing so far a pretty healthy balance with it. But I am working a lot, I won't lie. So we'll talk more about workaholism in another video. I'm kind of shivering here. But post a comment below if you've struggled with it. And I'd be so curious to see what you write. Whew, all right, I am off the trail. I am very happy went on this trek, little mini backpacking trip for the weekend. And I am ready to go stock up on a lot of produce at Natural Grocers, my favorite grocery store around here. Well, it's not around here, I have to drive a little bit. But yeah, me and my buddy, we're gonna hit the shop, and I can't wait to get some nice nourishing foods. I thank you for joining me here on this trek, and I'm gonna see you next time. Like this video, subscribe, and you know I have to send you away with a kiss. Mwah!